10 years. 10 years since we stood on this exact spot, less fancy then, and made a pact. A foolish, drunken promise, we called it, to meet here a decade later and see who had truly won. Not who had the most zeros in the bank, but who had lived the fullest, most authentic life.
Liam showed up late, as always. Some things never change. I remember greeting him, trying to sound aloof, pointing out the cost of the view, the exclusivity. I was wearing my Brooks Brothers armor, tailored in London, and he was still rocking that thrift store chic. Authentic, he called it. I told him he looked like he'd wrestled a pigeon for bread. He just smiled. God, I hated that smile.
I didn't waste time. I laid out my credentials. 3 major IPOs closed last quarter. A 7-figure bonus, the penthouse, the fund, the early retirement path. I hammered the point home. I had won the pact. I was 32 and financially done. Then I hit him with the question I craved. Are you successful? I mean, are you secure? He told me about his art, his installations, the write-up in the Village Voice. He spoke of waking up and choosing his work, of painting the truth he saw. He called it a luxury money couldn't buy. But he also confessed to the insecurity, the ramen noodles, the constant gallery rejections. I'm free, he said, but I wouldn't trade it. Then he turned the question back, sharp and clean. You won the financial race, Ethan. Are you happy? Happiness is a soft metric. That's what I told him. It's what you chase when you don't have the drive to chase power. I tried to sound convincing, but the truth was leaking. I told him about the constant fire drills, the phone fused to my palm. I confessed, quietly, that I missed my sister's wedding last year for a deal in Singapore. My father barely speaks to me. They see the money, but they don't see the cost. The fear in my own voice as I said it. The lie is that there's a later. The minute you hit a certain income level, the lifestyle creep becomes an iron law. I had to buy the penthouse, join the club, fly first class. Why? Because my clients, my peers, they expect it. They need to see the success to trust it. I'm a high-paid slave, I told him, a golden cage. The 7-figure bonus isn't freedom, it's an obligation to a lifestyle that is a perpetual, invisible debt. I don't own my wealth, I'm just renting it, and the rent is my soul. He looked at me, no judgment, just deep understanding. He shared his own prison, the debt of self-doubt, the fear that his authenticity was just arrogance and that he was one bad review away from working at Starbucks. 2 men on a gilded rooftop, both drowning in different forms of scarcity. I was trapped by abundance. He was trapped by lack. I clung to the system. He clung to the self. I brought up old man Sterling, the legend who built the firm, the man I tried to emulate, the one I tried to fake it till I made it like. I revealed the truth I hadn't told anyone. Sterling was voted out 2 weeks ago. Clean sweep. Political error. He lost his board seats, his identity. He was just James Sterling, not the Sterling. The market moved on the next day. I realized my entire self-worth was collateral. If the system decided I was irrelevant, the armor would shatter. Everything I had was conditional. Then, Liam delivered his quiet coup de grace. He told me he'd sold his piece, The Ghost of the Grid, for more than enough to cover 2 years of his life. And he wasn't buying a sports car, he was funding a community arts program. He found security through contribution. His value was now in the impact of his work, something no corporation could vote out. The sunset was gone. The city lights became a million tiny lies. I finally asked him, "So, you won the pact?" He shook his head. "Nobody won, Ethan. We both chased the wrong metric. The pact wasn't about the result we chased. It was about the meaning we found." He told me to start small, to find the kid who made that pact, to take one risk that wasn't about money. I stood there after he left, the cold glass of champagne mocking me. The final irony of faking it till you make it is that the fear was an illusion. The performance generates the reality. But I had been performing for the wrong audience. I had been lying to myself, believing my worth was tied to my net worth. I could have taken my private elevator down, the one that screams success, but I didn't. I chose the stairs. Step by agonizing step, I started the long journey back down to the ground. The most valuable assets are the ones they can't take away.